It's safe to say that if there is one member that tones down the ridiculousness of the Guardians of the Galaxy crew, it would be none other than Gamora, with her complex, trepid girl persona.
I'm gonna ask you this one time. Where is Gamora?
Yeah, I'll do you one better. Who's Gamora?
The Guardians of the Galaxy are infamous for their out-of-the-box and zany personalities, but amidst the chaos and humor, Gamora seems to stand out as the only voice of reason. Despite her serious demeanor and a tragic course of character development, Gamora is a beloved member of the Guardians of the Galaxy, offering a sane alternative to the group's more eccentric members. With her 40-year history in print and on film, there's a lot to unravel about our serious green girl's unique physiological feats, which marks her as the most dangerous woman in the galaxy. So without wasting another second, let's dive into Gamora's anatomy so we can finally understand what really sets her apart from the crew. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin. Is Gamora the last surviving member of her species? Gamora was the resident of an unusual planet named Zen-Hubere, which was inhabited by a community of green-skinned humanoids called Zihobere. The Zihoberes were a lot like human beings, but the color of their hair and skin is what set them apart, which explains the overall physical appearance of Gamora. Although these green alien-like people were massively talented, they were innately proud and had a very troubled existence, which made them the recipient of Thanos' wrath in the first place. In the Marvel Cinematic Universe, it is heavily implied that Gamora is the last surviving member of her species, the Zen-Huberes, following the genocide committed by Thanos. However, in the comics, Gamora is depicted as the sole survivor of her race, which was destroyed by Adam Warlock. It's worth noting that in the Guardians of the Galaxy, after Gamora was brought to Xandar's custody, she was taken to the Kiln prison after being sent in for a briefing. This particular scene showed a profile of her on a screen, revealing that indeed Gamora was the last of her kind after Thanos had carried out a mass killing that wiped her entire planet clean of all Zen-Huberes. But while Guardians of the Galaxy lists Gamora as the last of the Zen-Hubere, Avengers Infinity War does not mention the complete destruction of her species. In fact, the flashback scene with Thanos shows him taking out only half the population, leaving room for the possibility of other surviving members of the Zen-Hubere. Nonetheless, in the MCU, Gamora is portrayed as the last of her kind, adding to the complexity of her character and her tragic backstory.
Did you do it?
What is Gamora's real age? Although Gamora's age is not explicitly stated, it's true that time is a bit confusing in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, as different planets and species may experience time differently. While it's not explicitly stated how time passes on the planets where Gamora and Nebula originate, it's possible that their home planets have similar time measurements to Earth. However, it's also worth noting that their ages in Earth years may not be an accurate representation of their true age, given that they're from different planets with different cultures and ways of measuring time. Additionally, as with many comic book characters, their ages may vary depending on the writer and continuity. Apart from all of that, Gamora's real age is a bit tricky to determine, as her age is dependent on the planet she comes from. According to her home planet, she is supposed to be 27 to 28 years old, while her sister Nebula would be 30 years old according to her home planet. However, if we take Earth years and not the alien planet's years, Gamora is the elder sister of Nebula, which automatically means she would be older than 30 if she was on Nebula's planet. Yeah, it's a little nerve-wracking and confusing because this dilemma over the time passage in the MCU has always been a constant pain in the ass, as even Thor had once mentioned in Thor Ragnarok that it has been 2 years since Avengers Age of Ultron, even though Asgard has a different way of time passing as compared to Earth. Overall, while their ages are stated in the comics and films, it's best not to take them too literally or get too caught up in the specifics to keep heads from freezing over.
Possible. I don't know what to believe. I'm just trying to keep us together. You're my family.
Oh, so you finally agree with me about something.
Why does Gamora have green skin when her sister Nebula has blue skin? Okay, so this one is a bit dicey, but Thanos is not the biological father of Gamora or Nebula, which kinda explains why he is purple while Gamora is green and Nebula is blue. Also, the subtle fact that if they were his real children, both Gamora and Nebula would probably be 10 times bigger and stronger as fully grown adults. Over his run in the Marvel Universe, the mighty Thanos is not just an intergalactic conqueror, he's also a cult leader with a penchant for kidnapping children from the worlds he has raised and adopting them to be his so-called family. Although he seemed to have loved them, it definitely answers why they are not purple like him, or why they have different skin colors from each other. It is important to note that the skin color of alien species in the Marvel Universe is often used to distinguish between different races, and is not necessarily indicative of anything specific, which is why Gamora, as a member of the Zehoberei race, has green skin, while Nebula has blue skin because she's a Lufomoid, hence proving that their skin colors match their respective species and not Thanos' coloration.
Gamora, daughter of Thanos.
You know us?
It is my...
Why did Thanos choose her among everyone, and how did he rebuild her? As we've previously established, Gamora was kidnapped by Thanos after she was orphaned by his plan of wiping out half of her planet's population in a mass genocide. Gamora caught Thanos' eye when he noticed her as a tiny little girl kicking back, struggling and fighting to get away from one of his soldiers. Thanos was particularly impressed by Gamora's fighting spirit and intervened to rescue her from a situation that could have almost claimed her life. Thanos then proceeded to train her to become the ultimate weapon with the help of bionic implants that would lead to her iconic transformation. Thanos wanted to evolve a fighting machine that could consistently beat the likes of Nebula and Adam Warlock, periodically giving Gamora upgrades to fix any weaknesses she had after realizing what a waste of time Nebula was for him. However, his motives were selfish, and he succeeded in his mission to create a powerful tool for his own purposes. But it is weird how he thought he was giving Gamora a chance at a new improved life after snatching her entire life from her. Initially, Gamora took all of this in and learned everything she could until she successfully became one of Thanos' most dangerous arch-nemeses. All of this is kind of justified after what Gamora was put through from a very early age, from surviving a genocide to losing her parents and then being taken on by Thanos to be used for his gain. Gamora has really cemented her reputation as the toughest girl in the Marvel Universe. Hell, there's a segment in the comic books mentioning Thanos removing Gamora's tear ducts as to literally prevent her from crying. Although there's no mention of this incident in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, this particular stunt pulled by Thanos was some sort of twisted, unnecessary precaution, which was highly ineffective, but definitely added quite a layer to Gamora's character. Apart from that, there is another weird incident concerning Gamora's biological parentage. While it is clear that Thanos adopted her from her home planet after being taken in as a child, there was a certain scenario on the planet of Vormir when Red Skull announces the parentage of both Thanos and Gamora. He mentions Thanos as her father, instead of saying the name of her biological father who had died in the genocide. This discrepancy raises questions about Gamora's origins and the relationship between her and Thanos. Nonetheless, it is clear that in his own selfish, twisted manner, Thanos had an emotional connection to Gamora, as evidenced by his reaction to her death in Avengers Infinity War, when he teared up for the first time ever. Lord knows the mighty Thanos never cried before Gamora met her demise. Does Gamora have enhanced vision? Another adjustment that Thanos had altered in Gamora's physiology was adding ocular vision after removing her tear ducts. A significant part of being a formidable opponent is always having the upper hand on the enemy by being able to see them coming for an attack. Thanos wanted Gamora to be an ace combatant who could gain advantage over any potential enemy by being able to spot them first in any fray. He diligently enhanced Gamora's vision with the help of her ocular implants, which doubled up her abilities to fight and attack, allowing her to see through all spectrums. There are only a few rare characters in the Marvel Universe who stand a slight chance in front of Gamora's impeccable vision. Even when Nebula was advancing towards Ego's planet, she had easily detected her attack from a distant forum. The fans of the character have always believed her ocular vision to be a key ingredient to contribute to Thanos' plan of turning her into the ultimate weapon against every preceding attack. What is the secret behind Gamora's incredible martial arts skills? Gamora's incredible martial arts skills are a result of her intensive training from a very young age. As a child, Thanos trained her in various forms of combat, including martial arts, and made her fight against his other adopted daughter, Nebula, to hone her skills. Every time someone lost the fight, Thanos would replace their body part with a mechanical one, and evidently, Gamora won every time. Gamora's incredible martial arts skills can definitely be attributed to her intense and extensive training under Thanos, who wanted to make her the ultimate weapon. She also received training under Ronan the Accuser, further honing her combat skills. Gamora's dedication and hard work enabled her to master 83.4% of all kinds of martial arts, making her a formidable opponent both armed and unarmed. Unlike Neo from The Matrix, she didn't rely on simulated training, but rather put in the time and effort to transform her body into a lethal weapon. With her unparalleled skills, Gamora is almost undefeatable in combat. Additionally, the bionic implants installed by Thanos helped Gamora to increase her strength, speed, agility, and stamina, allowing her to move faster and hit harder than any normal human. In addition to her rigorous martial arts training, Gamora's experience as a member of the Guardians of the Galaxy has also exposed her to diverse fighting styles and tactics. As a vital part of the team, she is trained and fought alongside a variety of skilled fighters, including Star-Lord and Drax the Destroyer. Through her battles with different adversaries, she has honed her combat skills and gained valuable experience in fighting against various combat styles and abilities. This exposure to different techniques and tactics has undoubtedly contributed to her reputation as a formidable fighter with impeccable martial arts skills in the Marvel Universe. How does having two livers help Gamora? Gamora's unique physiology as a member of the Zeho-Beret race grants her not just one, but two livers, which provide a number of practical benefits, especially when it comes to her overall health and physical abilities. The liver is an essential organ that plays a crucial role in filtering toxins and waste from the body, and having two of them allows for a faster and more efficient detoxification process, which automatically means that Gamora is able to recover more quickly from injuries and illnesses. Another major advantage, apart from the liver's natural ability to purge the body of toxins, is the doubled possibility to be less susceptible to the harmful effects of environmental toxins or any pollutants, leading to more robust health for the Zeho-Beret. In addition, having two livers provides Gamora with a greater endurance and stamina, as the liver also plays a key role in energy production and storage. With two livers working in tandem, Gamora is able to perform at a high level for longer periods of time, allowing her to fight harder and longer than her opponents. This extra liver also means that Gamora has a greater tolerance for substances, making her a more resilient warrior than most Marvel characters.
You will already be dead.
Can Gamora survive when exposed to outer space? Gamora's ability to survive in space is limited, as seen in the Guardians of the Galaxy movie. While she does possess enhanced physical abilities, she's not immune to the harsh conditions of space. In the film, she is exposed to space for a prolonged period before Star-Lord rescues her. So Star-Lord was able to survive in space, and it's believed that his half-celestial heritage may have played a role in his survival. On the other hand, Gamora has no such powers and was exposed for a longer period of time before Star-Lord was able to save her and provide her with an oxygen mask. While Gamora may have increased durability and strength, she still requires oxygen to breathe, just like any other living being. Her ability to withstand extreme conditions likely comes from her training and enhancements by Thanos. For instance, her enhanced respiratory system provides her with greater stamina and improved respiration, which may help her cope with low oxygen environments. However, it's worth noting that even with her enhancements, Gamora is not invincible, and prolonged exposure to space without protection would likely result in her demise. Even in the comics, Gamora is shown to use special equipment, such as a helmet with an oxygen supply, while traveling through space. Exploring the supreme regenerative abilities and endurance of Gamora. It's not news that Gamora is not your average fighter, but what sets her apart from other warriors of the galaxy is her remarkable regenerative abilities and endurance. Her enhanced physiology allows her to withstand an incredible amount of physical trauma and bounce back from injuries that would cripple most other beings. Even mortal blows are not enough to keep her down for long, as her bionic enhancements allow her to heal quickly and thoroughly. This has been demonstrated in several instances, such as surviving exposure to deep space and being ready for battle in no time at all. One of the most impressive examples of Gamora's regenerative abilities was when she survived a fall from a great height and crash-landed on a planet's surface without any serious injuries. Her body was able to heal quickly and effectively, allowing her to continue fighting without any hindrances. Gamora's endurance is truly a critical asset in battle. She can withstand a significant amount of punishment and continue fighting for extended periods without showing any signs of fatigue. Apart from this, Gamora's impressive genetic makeup and the bionic tinkering she had undergone have resulted in her being an incredibly durable warrior with a high level of endurance. Along with her advanced healing factor, Gamora possesses various physiological traits that prevent her from getting hurt in the first place. For instance, her respiratory implants enable her to take in oxygen more efficiently, allowing her to run great distances from danger without tiring. Additionally, her 2 livers filter and repurpose toxins with advanced speed, keeping her system pure. Nevertheless, it's important to note that Gamora's regenerative abilities are not infallible, and she can be injured or killed if the damage inflicted is severe enough. Despite facing various challenges such as exposure to deep space, electrocution, searing heat, and severe physical blows, Gamora's supreme regenerative abilities and endurance have allowed her to emerge victorious time and time again, making her a resilience-filled, unstoppable force on the battlefield. With endurance like hers, it's no wonder that Gamora is known as the most dangerous woman in the galaxy. How fast is Gamora? With her agility being one of her assets in combat, Gamora is incredibly fast, which is a direct testament to her extraordinary speed and reflexes that were enhanced by her bionic implants and her extensive training in various forms of martial arts. This allows her to dodge attacks, move quickly to avoid danger, and strike with precision and deadly force. As a highly skilled assassin, Gamora has an encyclopedic knowledge of different martial arts, allowing her to react quickly and evade danger with ease. Whether it's dodging incoming laser fire or delivering lightning-fast strikes to her enemies, Gamora's lightning-quick reflexes and poise are a crucial part of her arsenal. Moreover, Gamora's proficiency in gymnastics further complements her superhuman speed, as it has given her unparalleled flexibility and body control. This perfect coordination of mind and muscle enables her to execute complex maneuvers with effortless grace and swift agility, making her an almost impossible target for her adversaries. Gamora's speed has been showcased in numerous instances, such as when she took on an entire group of soldiers on her own in a matter of seconds, or when she was able to keep up with the fast pacing of Star-Lord during a chase scene through space. Whether Gamora is moving through space or engaged in close combat, her superhuman quickness allows her to stay one step ahead of her opponents, making her a force to be reckoned with in the Marvel Universe.
This is the one? Seriously?
Your choices were him or a tree.
Can Gamora reproduce? In the Marvel Comics, Gamora's ability to reproduce has been addressed in a rather complicated manner. While she is a humanoid alien and possesses reproductive organs, there is no evidence to suggest that she has ever reproduced biologically. Plus, the evident point that Thanos wiped out all the Zehoberes and she's probably the last surviving one kinda rules out the possibility for her to birth another of her kind. However, she did adopt a child with Adam Warlock in the Infinity Abyss storyline. After defeating the Thanosi, Warlock and Gamora retired to a pocket dimension to teach and serve as foster parents to Adliza, an all-powerful being who was in dire need of training. So while Gamora may not have reproduced biologically, she is a parent in a non-traditional sense. In terms of romantic relationships, Gamora has had her fair share of love interests throughout the Marvel Universe. As mentioned earlier, she had a lengthy on-again, off-again relationship with Adam Warlock, and she also had a long-term relationship with Space Cop Richard Rider of the Nova Corps. However, one of the most surprising hookups in Gamora's love life was with Iron Man. In the 4th issue of the Guardians of the Galaxy, Gamora and Iron Man ended up in bed together after a night at the bar. What's interesting about this encounter is that Gamora was in the driver's seat the entire time, just sitting and holding Stark accountable for all the shit he had spewed. After their brief fling, she left the encounter unscathed, while Stark winced with pain. This hookup was a great example of Gamora's agency and strength in her relationships, as she was the one taking control and asserting her desires. Another point worth noting is that in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, it's still unclear whether Peter Quill and Gamora can have children. However, there is some evidence that it could be possible for various humanoid species to interbreed, like Xandarian and Krylorian, or human and Zehobere. For example, Roman Day's daughter is half Xandarian and half Krylorian, although this may not be entirely conclusive. It's also possible that interbreeding between different species is relatively common in other universes in the Marvel multiverse, but may not apply to the MCU. Moreover, Ego, who is a Celestial and the father of Star-Lord, aka Peter Quill, was able to impregnate a wide variety of women from various planets, possibly because of his godlike powers. However, it is likely that there is no general compatibility between all species of humanoids, and every pairing is probably a case-by-case basis. While there is nothing that explicitly makes Quill and Gamora having a kid impossible, it's unknown at this point if humans and Zehobere are compatible at all. Gamora's physical and emotional connections with the larger Marvel universe make her an integral part of the franchise, and her story will no doubt continue to captivate audiences for years to come. There is truly never a dull moment with our green gal, because she has literally always been in survival mode. With this, we come to the end of the video, but don't forget to leave a comment below about your views on Gamora's remarkable anatomical abilities. And, as always, if you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Thanks for watching, be safe out there, and have a marvelous day.